That's it. No, all right.
Hoisted by one's own petard. That saying perfectly describes the situation in this video. Why? Well, some people just don't believe in instant karma. So, they choose to be arrogant, acting all high and mighty in front of others, challenging them with an annoying attitude that would irritate just about anyone. But what happens when their own challenge backfires? What if they pick the wrong opponent and end up embarrassing themselves in front of everyone? If you're curious to find out, don't forget to like and subscribe, because we're about to break it all down in this video. Cocky streamer gets humbled by a young boxer. Never underestimate someone just because they're smaller than you. A cocky streamer decided to challenge an 11-year-old boxer. Not only that, but he even mocked the young fighter, saying he would break his nose. But here's the thing. Size doesn't determine skill.
Taking this kid seriously at all.
I pray for your nose, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna piece you up.
You could tell just by the young boxer's stance that he meant business. The moment he threw his punches, the energy shifted. Suddenly, the streamer realized this kid wasn't someone to mess with. So, what did the streamer do? Well, instead of playing fair, he started using headshots. Something totally unnecessary in this kind of fight. But even with his dirty tricks, he still couldn't win against the young boxer.
Ended up winning against this overconfident streamer, embarrassing himself in front of everyone.
Cocky, tall, tough guy gets humbled. Never mock someone if you're not ready to face the consequences. Just like this tall guy, he openly mocked a man in a blue shirt, insulting him just because he was shorter. He even went as far as saying he could knock him out easily just because of the height difference. Well, let's just say that didn't end well for him. Instant karma came knocking, especially for someone as arrogant as him. The man in the blue shirt finally challenged him to a match. And what happened next? Yep, the tall guy got hit over and over again. Turns out, even though he was shorter, the guy in blue had a strong, solid build, which worked his advantage. He easily landed punches, pushed the tall guy back, and eventually cornered him with no way out. Street fighter versus boxer guy. Big mouth but no skills. That's a perfect recipe for embarrassing yourself. This so-called street fighter walked into a gym thinking he could test his fighting skills by challenging one of the gym members. But he didn't just stop there. He started provoking his opponent, belittling him, which, of course, only made the gym guy more annoyed. Now, as a street fighter, you'd think he'd actually be able to put up a decent fight, right? But something was clearly off about his technique. Yeah, he had zero proper skills or technique. Every punch was sloppy and uncoordinated, making it ridiculously easy for the gym guy to knock him down. In fact, he was hit so hard that he fell right out of the ring. Moral of the story, if you don't have the skills, you better keep your mouth shut, unless you want to embarrass yourself. Bully guy drives an hour to challenge a boxing coach. Having good fighting skills doesn't always make someone humble. This bully right here, he was so full of himself that he drove an entire hour just to challenge a boxing coach at his gym. He bragged about being in and out of jail, having anger issues, and getting into countless street fights. At first, the boxing coach ignored him. He had no interest in fighting, but the bully kept running his mouth, disrespecting him more and more. Eventually, the coach had enough and decided to teach him a lesson. Sure, the bully managed to land a few punches, but in return, he took way more hits to the face and body than he could handle. At the end of the day, all that bragging meant nothing. Against the right opponent, especially one with real technique and experience, he didn't stand a chance. The man who took 2 kicks from John Jones. This guy literally asked John Jones to kick him in the leg twice. Now, if you know John Jones, you'd know he's one of the best MMA fighters in the world, holding both the UFC light heavyweight and heavyweight championship titles. So yeah, not the smartest idea. With a big smile, Jon Jones accepted the challenge and delivered the first kick. He held back his power, but even then, the guy wasn't satisfied. He actually yelled, "Harder." Yeah, big mistake. For the second kick, Jon didn't hold back, and the result? The guy nearly collapsed and had to limp away in pain.
Show us the league.
Cocky fighter gets humbled. Sometimes it's not a lack of skill that makes you lose a fight. It's your ego, especially when you underestimate your opponent. That's exactly what happened to this fighter who kept mocking and disrespecting his opponent. From the start, you could see it in his expression. Cocky, overconfident, and clearly not taking the fight seriously. Meanwhile, his opponent stayed calm, taking all the insults without reacting. But don't be mistaken, he wasn't just going to let it slide. The moment the fight began, everything changed. The calm fighter suddenly switched gears, locking his legs around the cocky fighter's waist and securing a chokehold around his neck. It didn't take long before the arrogant fighter tapped out and surrendered. Racist guy gets knocked out. If you don't want to face the consequences, don't be racist. In this video, two guys were throwing punches at each other, until the racist one got knocked out cold, hitting the ground hard. Not willing to accept his friend's defeat, another guy jumped in to fight. But it didn't take long before he, too, got knocked out. The entire crowd couldn't help but laugh and mock them both. Boxer teaches a bully a lesson he'll never forget. What exactly goes through a bully's mind? Do they really think they're invincible? That they can beat anyone? Especially those they see as weaker. This boxer had been getting non-stop messages from a bully, challenging him to a fight in the ring. This wasn't just some random guy either. The bully had been picking on him since high school. Of course, the boxer wasn't going to let it slide, and now that he had the skills to fight back, he was more than ready to teach his old bully a lesson. And guess what? The same bully who once acted all tough ended up being the one who got humbled in the ring.
No, alright. Hey, you got in the ring though.
Racist picks the wrong Asian guy to fight. Life is peaceful, and we should all just enjoy it. But not this racist guy. He was actively looking for trouble. Acting cocky, he randomly picked an Asian guy to fight, thinking he'd be weak and easy to beat. But the moment the Asian guy had enough, he showed his true skills and delivered a brutal knockout, leaving the racist guy unconscious on the street. A well-deserved lesson for someone who couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Wow.
A lot of guys let their ego get the best of them, thinking they're superior to everyone else. But in the end, that kind of attitude only turns them into a laughingstock, and they end up embarrassing themselves, especially when they have zero skills and only rely on trash talk. So, stop underestimating others, because you never know who you're messing with, and sometimes it might just land you in bigger trouble. Now enjoy the video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos.